Hi, I'm Steve Newman and welcome to Intection. Today we're going to be talking about the iPad Pro 12.9 inch and the accessories that I can't live without, that I use on a daily basis for my work. Welcome back. Hi, so let's talk a bit about the iPad. So the iPad Pro 12.9 inch, you can get a version which is now a 9.7 inch version. There's a slight difference between them, apart from the obvious being the screen size. The main difference is the display on both of these. So the display on the smaller variety has a better color resolution and so forth, and it dynamically changes the display based on the ambient room temperature, so colors look more natural depending on the surroundings that you have, where the iPad 12.9 inch display doesn't do this. It's a different display technology and it came out before the other one, but obviously you get the large display. Other than that, the only other real noticeable difference that you would come up with when you're using this on a daily basis is the fact that the lightning connector on the bottom of the iPad Pro, it's exactly the same, but the electronics built into it only support USB 2 on a 9.7 inch and USB 3 on the 12.9 inch. So it's important to note that. So if you have the USB adapter, it will work on both devices, but it will be fast on the iPad 12.9 inch. Okay, so quickly going through the accessories that I use. So I have the back cover, the standard Apple back cover. I won't pull it off, it's a standard back cover. I use the Apple keyboard. So there we go, the Apple keyboard. I have tried the Logitech. I'll just put this on so it connects with a magnet. There we go, connects with a magnet there. I have used the Logitech, the Logitech Pro Create. There we go. Fits nicely, and it is a very strong magnet, even though it didn't appear that way before. So there you go, just to prove how strong it is. Okay, so the Logitech Pro Create keyboard I have used. I bought this before I got the iPad Apple branded smart keyboard, and I found it too big, so I use it was far too big. It almost weighed as much as the iPad 12.9 itself, and when you put them together, difficult to get the iPad out, and it's the same size pretty much as an Apple MacBook Air or even a small laptop. So it didn't really sell to me the lightness, the portability that you get with a 12.9. So, however, if you use the Apple provided keyboards, although they are expensive and all the covers are expensive, they're very well made, and it doesn't really add a great deal of weight to the device, and it's very convenient. For example, if I go into a meeting, I can just tear the cover off and I can use the Apple Pencil really comfortably. Okay, so let's talk about the other accessories that I use on a daily basis. So we covered the keyboard. I think everyone will know how to do it. Of course, I mentioned the Apple Pencil. So here's the Apple Pencil. As you notice, it has a lightning connector. Problem with that, without going into too much detail, is you charge it by connecting it into the bottom of the iPad, like so, and that would charge it. But as you can see, it's very easy to knock and you could damage it. So what I use, a little cable I got off of Amazon, small cable. You can connect, it's like an extension cable. You can connect the bottom in and you get the nice flexible cable here, and now safely you can charge your Apple Pencil. So there you go, that's my other one. Okay, so let's move that aside. Okay, other thing which is a bit annoying with the what you do with the Apple Pencil is there's nowhere to store it. It doesn't have any way of hiding it in the iPad, and when you've got the keyboard on, you know, there are sort of some areas where magnetically it will try and stick. I can't find where they are, but there's nothing, as you can see, no way, and it rolls around. Apple really didn't think about it, so it rolls off. So what do? So what I have is this, and it's a little piece of elastic. You can buy them very cheaply on Amazon. Put your pencil in, and obviously it holds it, but more importantly, if you open up your smart cover or keyboard cover, it works with both, and you put it on the middle pane. What you can do, we'll just quickly fit it, put it on the middle pane like so, and you can close it all back up again. You now have a really nice, it does look a bit strange admittedly, but you know, going from meeting to meeting, as you can see either way up, you have a really nice way of, whoops, there's me, shows you how easy it is to use the cap, an easy way of taking the pencil out and using it. Now when it's connected this way, you can still use the keyboard as you would, so you can fold the keyboard down like so, and there you go, you have your keyboard connected, and as you can see we still have the Apple Pencil on the back, so works really well. Okay, so there, let's put the iPad aside for the minute. Okay, so that's the main things that I take around to meetings, and I'll explain how I use that and what applications I use in a different video. Okay, other accessories, really important one. This is the Apple VGA media adapter. They're about £39, and again a VGA, and you also have an Apple pass-through power connector, so therefore you can plug this into the bottom of the iPad Pro, plug it into a power adapter, and you can present. And most applications will have a present function, or you can use screen mirroring, and that works really well, so that's really good. Office 365 and Keynotes are set up pretty much for presentation, and if you have an Apple Watch like I do and you have an Office application, you can even control your presentations from the Apple Watch itself, so that's pretty good. So that's the other thing. Next ones, which I don't use at work but I make a point of having, let's go for this. So this is the Anchor gigabit Ethernet adapter. It's USB 3. It obviously works with a PC or a Mac, but it does also work with the iPad 12.9, and the drivers are built into iOS. Just works. I'll explain what you get with that. And to make it work, obviously, because you don't have a USB 3 on your iPad 12.9, you need a USB adapter. Now this is the USB, or I think I refer to it as the camera media adapter, but this is a USB 3 adapter to Lightning, which is for the 12.9 inch iPad Pro. It does work for 9.7 inch, and in fact it does even work for the iPhone 6s Plus. It does recognize it, but you only get the faster USB 3 speeds with the 12.9 inch iPad Pro, because it has the chipset built into it. You will get USB 2 speeds for transfer on all the other devices at the moment, at the time of creating this video. So kind of devices you can plug in: USB memory sticks. You can plug hard drives in, and the reason why it's better than the previous versions is because of the power connector, which is just there. That power connector there gives you the ability to provide some power to the external devices if the Apple device itself, the iPad, cannot provide sufficient power. And that's important because most of the additional devices require power. There are some specially built for Lightning, but you can plug in USB type devices into this. So for example, the Anchor gigabit Ethernet adapter will work in this. So we just plug that in. You would plug your power in here, and then you can plug this obviously into the bottom of the iPad or Apple device, and it will just work. Now, things to note when you do use Ethernet: the Ethernet drivers are built in for this USB Ethernet into iOS, but there is no there's no way of setting preferences, so there's no GUI controls of any kind, and I'm not aware of any application I searched which enables you to perform even a read-only analysis of what the IP addresses are from within iOS. So you cannot set a fixed IP address or gateways or DNS or any settings. You have to just go with the IP address and settings provided by the network that you plug this in. So it has to be DHCP, the network that you plug this into. But however, it just works. So if you plug this in, turn off Wi-Fi, you will be able to access the network that's on the other side. Again, please don't plug these into your work's network without permission for your network administrator. So that is important. You could get yourself into trouble. So okay, right. So next device and final one, which is, I know it sounds a bit weird. This is pretty much a dual function. So this is the standard lightning cable that you will get. However, what's really good about this, with some applications, you can actually share turn your iPad into an extra screen for your Windows or Mac device. So although you can obviously keep your device up to date via iTunes, or you can download music, etc., etc., and keep the power on your device topped up, this will also allow you to create a high resolution external monitor using the iPad at the same time of running programs in the background. And there's a number of programs that you can use to extend the screen, which we'll talk about in other editions. And the last thing that I do want to, other episodes, sorry, the last thing I want to talk about is my protection case. Now, despite having the iPad covers, if I know I'm going to a meeting that requires me to carry some of my gadgets, which to be honest with you is pretty much only going to be my power and also my media adapter, so I can do presentations. I do use this felt case. So this is a really nice felt case you can get. This is made by a company called Pack and Smooth. It's Italian leather at the bottom. I think it's Italian leather. The rest of it is all felt. The catches are magnetic, and all you get is one pouch for the iPad 3 in here, and then another pouch for your accessories. That's it. That's what this does. But it's quite convenient. It's really easy to put in the device in here, and it keeps it quite well protected. And when I carry my iPad in a rucksack, which is designed for laptops, but I make sure my iPad is in this device first, not with this around the front, because obviously you could crack the screen. So that is what I do for my iPad. So thank you for joining. These are the accessories I take. So in my next episode, what I want to do is talk you through a typical day on the applications that I found are very useful and I work with. And the applications I'm going to be talking about in my next episode are primarily applications that are Apple Pencil friendly to do with the workflow. So thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for watching today's episode, and please come back and watch my other episodes.